Greatness. Whoa. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. TichaenaC here, and today's video is gonna be about my first in-car driving lessons that I did today, and it's gonna be about how I almost died today as well, but I luckily survived. And without further ado, let's just get right into the video. Okay, so for some of you who don't know, I've had my license for about 7 months now. I also went to driving school, and when you go to driving school, you're able to have your sentence reduced to 8 months instead of a year that you would have to wait to get your G2. So I went to driving school because of that reason, because I didn't want to have to wait a whole year. But even though it's not a big deal, but I just wanted to have a shorter waiting time. And so I went to driving school, and so I had my G1 license for about 7 months. So next month, April, will be the 8-month mark where. So next month would be the 8-month mark where I am eligible to do my G2 driving test. Okay, so it was Tuesday, and when I called my driving instructor, I'm like, hey, it's TichaenaC, I want to do my in-car driving lessons. And then before I even said all of that, guys, he was just already like saying that he's coming to my house right now. You know, he knows he's late, he's running late, and he's coming to my house right now to do my driving lessons or whatever. And first of all, I was confused, and I didn't understand anything that he was saying. He was Indian, so he was talking really fast, and I didn't understand anything he was saying. So I'm just like, what? You're coming to my house right now? He's like, yes, I'm coming right now. I'm like, no, this is a different person. I want to book my appointment with you tomorrow. And he's like, oh, okay, you're a different person. And he's like, okay, so what time do you want to book your appointment? And I said 1 o'clock. And he's like, okay, maybe, you know, we can do that earlier, because he said he has like another appointment at 12 or something, so maybe it won't work out for him or whatever, but he will let me know. I'm like, okay, fine, that's good. So this morning, so I recently just got back from my driving lessons, like right now. So this morning he called me at 10:30 saying that he's gonna come, and he can make it for 2 o'clock. I'm like, okay, that's good. So, but then he was like, depending if it starts to rain or whatever, you may not be able to drive. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Just let me know when you're on your way. Okay, so he called me at 1:30 saying that he's downstairs and he's gonna come get me and we're gonna do our driver's lessons. I was like really nervous. I'm like, okay, he's here, we're gonna do our driving lessons. So I just put on my clothes, put on my shoes, brush my teeth, you know, kind of fixed up my hair, and I went there. And when I looked outside, I'm like, okay, so I'm looking for like the Maple Driving School car sign, and I didn't see it until I went outside even more, and I saw a guy coming out the car, going to the back and putting the Maple sign on top of the car. I'm like, okay, you're here, Bala. I introduced myself as TichaenaC, and then he's like, okay, get into the driver's seat. I'm just like, oh my word, it's actually happening. I'm actually getting into the driver's seat. And I put my seatbelt on. The car was hella messy. Like, there was like so many things going on in that car. Like, it was not clean or cleanliness or anything like that. Like, it was just ugh, whatever. Got in, put my seatbelt on, and he asked me if I had my license. I'm like, yes, I have my license. And then he got his pen and pad out, and he was like writing on a blank piece of paper and telling me like the stop signs. Like, so he drew like a route. He drew like a 4-way, and he drew like a 2-way with a stop sign, and he was telling me that I always have to stop at the white line, like behind the white line and stuff like that. I'm okay, yeah, I know. And he was just telling me a little bit about, you know, the right of way, and, you know, yield for buses and all that stuff. And then after that, we were just checking The blinkers, we were checking the signal lights, we were checking the gas and the brake pedal, seeing if they're working, and just basically checking everything that was working in the car before we start. And he wanted me to adjust my mirrors, so I adjusted my mirrors. Actually, when I got into the car, I didn't really have to do much adjusting. Like, usually when you go into like somebody's car and it's not your car and they have all their adjustments, and then you would have to like adjust it yourself, you know, put the seat back higher or lower or push it forward or kind of like that. I didn't have to do all of that. I have long legs, and my legs were pretty comfortable on the brake and the gas pedal, so I guess we were the same. I don't think we were really the same height, because he looked a little shorter than me because I'm 5'7", but I didn't have to adjust anything, which is good. And so put a seatbelt on, he put a seatbelt on, and then he's like, okay, go. And I'm just like, seriously, I'm actually gonna drive? So I put my feet on the gas pedal, and I went. You know, like I was kind of jerky a bit, like, you know, accelerated a little bit too quickly at times, but it was good. And I pulled out. My building was like a roundabout, so I had to like pull out, and he's like, okay, make a left turn. And he's like, okay, there's a car coming, you have to wait for that car and everything like that. And I'm just like, wow, this is like real, this is like really, really happening. And I was kind of like nervous, like my heart was kind of like tight, and I was kind of like this, but then eventually I relaxed, and I was, you know, didn't tense up as much. But then after it was a red light, and I was stopped. He told me to stop, and I stopped. Then it was green, and then I went straight on. He told me all the directions to go, and everything. And we basically just drove around residential areas, like school areas and stuff like that, behind them and all that. He didn't really stay on the road, which is good. I had a feeling that we would probably do that, and just taking the back ways for everything. And yeah, and then so we were driving, and he was telling me I had to keep my steering wheel straight, because I will like always like you have it like a little bit turned. Like he said you can turn it a little bit, but then you also have to keep it straight right after. And then I was braking, practice on braking near the stop sign, and I would like brake like too hard, or I brake very far away from the stop sign. And I also had to work on, like, we did turning too, like, so when I was making like a left turn, I put on my left blinker, and the trick is you have to like line up your shoulder with the sidewalk, and I find that really helps. If you line your shoulder up with the sidewalk and then you turn, you 99% of the time you're going to get it right, and then you straighten the steering wheel. Because that really helped. He told me to do that, and then that really made a lot of sense to me, and it helped me a lot. Because usually some people would like, you know, turn before the sidewalk and then make, you know, too close of a turn, or some people will go all the way into the intersection and then make a turn. Sometimes you need to do that. You need to go all the way into the intersection before you turn, because some streets are wider than others. But the streets that we were on, they're mostly narrow, so the shoulder to sidewalk thing worked pretty well most of the time that we were doing it. And yeah, so we were just driving. I was really calm, you know. He was silent most of the time. Well, he wasn't, not most of the time, but the time when I was like driving on straight roads, he was really silent, didn't really say much, until I came to like a stop sign. He would like see if I knew how to stop and stuff like that, and sometimes I would get it right, and then other times I won't get it right. So we kept practicing that as well. Kept practicing checking mirrors, checking our blind spot, checking everywhere, looking if there's a car coming, looking for pedestrians. Like, we were just doing a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of things that you have to do when you're driving a vehicle. And when I was coming to a stop sign, I stopped, and there was oncoming traffic. Okay, this is where I almost died. I was coming, and the traffic was going, and I was coming around the corner, and I don't know, but I feel like we had like a miscommunication, because she wanted me to turn right, but I wasn't right. Like, I don't know what happened to me, but I accelerated really fastly, and I almost ended up hitting a curve, okay? And my life flashed before my eyes. Like, I thought I was gonna go and see Jesus, because I was going really fast. Like, I hit the gas pedal really hard. I was like, vroom, and oh my God, the way we stopped. Oh, and my hands like going like that. It was like really scary. But my instructor, he had me, he stopped me, and he told me to turn the wheel so we can get into the right lane to turn. I don't know what happened there. I was probably in La La Land. I don't know. But that's still my near-death experience that I almost had driving. That only happened that one time. After that, it was pretty good. I learned my lesson from that. I did not want to have to experience that near-death experience again, because that was really scary. Like, my heart was like beating. But after that, it was going pretty good. I was just making more right and left turns. That's pretty much what we're doing. Coming to complete stops, and driving straight roads. We did a little bit go through intersections, but not as much. The only time we went through an intersection when we were going to go in another residential place, and the time when I was going back home. That's the only time when we went to a green light, red light intersection kind of thing. But most of the times we drove on the back way of of like the school areas and home areas. That's mostly where we drove. But yeah, and the thing is, it was like really nerve-wracking, because there was like lots of other cars there, and sometimes like so let me tell you, when I was I came to a stop sign. I wanted to make a left turn, and he was like, okay, go, because there was like probably like 3 other cars on the right side waiting to go straight, right? And I was in the middle, and I was making my turn, but before I even straightened up my vehicle, the car coming straight down was like bumper to bumper to me, like really close to me. And I was really scared, because I was looking in my rear view mirror, and I couldn't see like his top of his head, because he was just so close to me. And anything could have happened. Like, I could have hit the brake really hardly and rapidly, making him have to like stop completely like that, right? And that times we could have gotten into an accident. But lucky, and I had a little bit of road rage, because I was like, why the hell are you so close to me? You know, you're supposed to have at least 6 meters of cushion around your vehicle, right? You're not supposed to be that close to a vehicle like that, you know? That's how tailgating comes, and that's illegal. You're not supposed to be like bumper to somebody, and that guy was wrong. And that just comes to show that these drivers are so stupid. Like, most of these drivers on the street should not be driving. They should not have a license. They should not be eligible to drive a car. I don't know what other people's were smoking or thinking when they gave these people license to drive, but they should have not been given this privilege, because you're not born to drive or anything like that. It's a privilege from the government given you, so you be able to get around and drive. But you know, privileges can be taken, and you if you abuse them and you don't use them correctly, they can be taken away from you. That's how so many people lose their license like that, because of stupid things like that. Bumper to bumper somebody, tailgating somebody like that. That's how you lose your license. And it's crazy because anything could happen. We could have gotten into an accident and it would not be my fault. So those are just two really crazy things that happened where I almost lost it, like when I went into the curve, or you know, almost had my near-death experience there, or had a little bit of road rage with this guy that was bumper to me, really close to me. But yeah, overall that it was really nice to actually drive. And when I got the hang of it, and when I've got used to, like, you know, I felt calm doing it and I enjoyed it. But it was also really scary and nerve-wracking, and it was also just scary and nerve-wracking, but I enjoyed it. So that'll be all for today for my video. My next driving lesson is going to be next week. We're gonna try to do it early in the morning, because it's better to do your lessons early in the morning, because not a lot of people are on the roads that time. The time when we did it when there's lots of people on the road, you know, coming from school or work, and there's lots of kids on the street and buses, so it was kind of scary at that moment. But hopefully when we do it in the morning, there's not going to be a lot of stupid people on the road, so I can drive safely and drive peacefully without cussing somebody off. Until next time, guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also don't forget to turn on your notification button so you know when I'm uploading again. And until next time, guys, bye. Whoa, whoa,